is 1:30 in the morning right now, and my alarm goes off at 5:15 for me to get up for work tomorrow. This video is kicking my butt, you guys. But this is really important information, and I told myself that I would get this out for you guys no matter what, so I am making this happen. Basically, there's this misconception, this huge misconception, that if you do not receive a 1099 from Amazon as an Amazon Vine reviewer, then you do not need to include that income on your taxes. That is mostly wrong. And the only reason I say mostly wrong is because if you don't have to file taxes at all, then you are safe, then you are correct. If you happen to be someone who doesn't have to file taxes at all. Otherwise, if you have to file taxes at all in any way, shape, or form, you must include the estimated tax value of the products you received while reviewing as part of the Amazon Vine program. And I'm going to show you the exact wording on the IRS website that says that. Okay, disclaimer time. I am not a tax expert at all in any way, shape, or form. I have never had any formal training whatsoever around taxes. I have never worked for the IRS. I am not a CPA. I do not have any tax credentials whatsoever. Anything I say, please double check it with your CPA or other tax professional. That's not me. What I do hope to do here is just walk you through the IRS website, because this is what I am seeing, and I want to invite people to double check me on this, because I am not seeing anybody else really sharing this information, and this is crucial. I know you guys are ordering things, and this could be very relevant, and that's why I told myself, oh crap, I gotta get this out there. I did look at my previous videos like, wait, didn't I mention this before? And I did, but it was very brief and it wasn't relevant to how I was filing at the time. I have, for those who don't know, I have a bunch of videos about how I filed differently, and that is not something I recommend, because if the IRS decides that that was not correct to deduct the items as business expenses, then I'd be in a lot of hot water and I'd owe a lot of money. So if you want to file the conventional safe way, then that's what this video is about. And I've got bad news for you guys. I'm sorry. Let's just get into it. I'm going to just put some screenshots up. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. This video is not about quality. It's just about getting the information out there. So bear with me. So we get to this page on the IRS website. Check if you need to file a tax return. So you've got these two tables here for if your filing status is this, then file a tax return if your gross income is this amount or above. So if you have to file, then you must include everything that you have as estimated tax value from Amazon Vine, whether or not you got a 1099. That is if you have to file at all. And again, I will show you the webpage for that. We have to go one step at a time here. One of the requirements, if you look here under who must file before you get to that table, one of those requirements is you have over $400 in net earnings from self-employment, which is side jobs or other independent work. Now I'm going to point out here that net is different than gross. Gross income is the total amount of what you receive. Net income is total amount minus business expenses. So in my case, when I filed previously with the Amazon Vine stuff, I said, hey, yes, I did receive this amount in gross income, that's goods as income, estimated tax value, but I had all of the entirety of those items was also a business expense because it was necessary in order to write the review. So I deducted the entirety of that. That is how I did it previously. Again, that is not something that I am currently recommending, but that was my reasoning, and that's why I believe that it made sense. but I'm going to show you the safe way to do things. That's what this video is about, the safe way. So I don't want to get lost here. We're talking about who must file, and there's 2 instances where if you must file. If you meet any of the criteria on any of these tables, then you must file. And when you file, you must include every estimated tax value item as part of that income. I will show you that in a bit. And that even means if it's just 25 bucks. Okay? The second example of if you must file is if you have earned over $400 in our case, estimated tax value in Amazon Vine items, then you must file taxes. And so even if you don't meet the criteria of the other tables, so that's just if you must file taxes. In both cases, you have to report the earnings from the estimated tax value, and that's regardless of whether or not you get a 1099. So let's go there now. So let's click on this self-employment. This is the Self-Employed Individuals Tax Center, and it says who is self-employed. The 2 things that are relevant here to us is you are an independent contractor, we're going to click that link, or a gig worker, that's the other link. So independent contractor, here we go. And the link I'm looking at there is in the middle. It mentions Form 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation. That is the exact form that Amazon Vine sends out to people who receive more than $600 in estimated tax value in items. So I have shown that previously in a video. I actually pulled the screenshot just so I can put it up there so you can see that is the form that Amazon Vine sends out. Exactly. So yes, we are considered independent contractors. That is like set in stone. But let's say you haven't received a 1099. Let's say you are a gig worker. Even if you don't identify as such, just click on this link and it says Gig Economy Tax Center. Gig economy income is taxable. You must report income earned from the gig economy on a tax return, even if the income is from temporary or side work, not reported on an information return form, like a 1099 NEC, paid in any form, including property or goods. I don't see any way around that, you guys. This is very, very clear cut. And I'm kind of concerned because I don't see anybody talking about this. I don't see anyone talking about the $400 threshold. I don't see anybody talking about how under the $600 mark, you're not safe. The only safe mark that I am seeing here is if you don't meet any of the requirements for that table I showed earlier, and if it was under $400 in net earnings from self-employment. Now remember, that is net, which means you can have deductions. Now, I previously deducted the full amount of what I had reviewed, the products that I had reviewed. I deducted them as business expenses. That is the controversial bit. That is the bit that we are still waiting to see if the IRS does anything about, and we still don't even have an answer either direction unless I get audited, which I have not been. So that is the unsafe thing. The safe thing, though, that you can do and that you can consult with your CPA about is that you can deduct things like office space in your house dedicated towards writing reviews, or perhaps storage space. Maybe if you have to drop off, I'm just making things up here, but I seriously considered this when I was reviewing for Amazon Vine, the gas money to run my recycle to the recycle station, because I received so many boxes that it was too much for our recycle truck to take, and I would have to do that. So that was a business expense for me. So these are safe deductions that you can do to help bring yourself under that $400 mark. And that is not a risk. That is something that the IRS is very familiar with, those types of deductions for business expenses. I've got to wrap this up. My baby just woke up, so I've got to go to her. And I'm going to see if I have enough footage to just kind of put this together for you guys. I think I have enough information out there. I'm sorry this video is not more put together, but it was just really important for me to literally just communicate this to you guys, because I know a lot of you are ordering things every single day. So let me know, comment below. Are you seeing anything different here? I hope this information is getting out there. I hope I'm not like the first person you've encountered saying this, but if I am so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But talk about it. Tell me if you're seeing anything different. Let me know where you're at. Let me know if this is a surprise to you. And if it is, I am so sorry. I told you as soon as I could. All right, love you guys.